So, Will, thanks for finding the time to talk. Could you say a bit about the part that Edinburgh University in particular has been looking at in the first part of this project?
We're organising one of the work streams that deals with grammar, and we're interested to find out what do competent, fluent speakers of Gaelic today think is appropriate for the language in terms of grammar. So we're trying to make a difference. We're trying to establish differences between the kinds of questions that people have on a regular basis as to how Gaelic works or how it should work, and mistakes that people make that may be growing more common today. So to give you an example of what happens with a genitive case in Gaelic, which is one of those things that any learner, even fluent speakers from time to time kind of think about, is this right or wrong? So in Gaelic, as you know, we've got a difference between, for every noun there'll be different cases. So ha mi féichín a bhfóideanach is how you'd say I'm seeing the woman. So woman is bóideanach, it turns into bhfóideanach in this situation because of the genitive case. So is that the right thing to do, which people have done for many, many hundreds of years presumably, or should it be slightly different today to accommodate changes in the language? So that's kind of if you like, a big question about Gaelic grammar. And then we've got things that we're trying to make a difference between those kinds of things and things that I think most people, certainly older people, would agree are kind of wrong in the language. So that there's a difference in the verbs to be in Gaelic. So we've got the copula, is, and then we've got I think the substantive verb is what it's called, ha. So you wouldn't say I'm a teacher in Gaelic without changing the verb. So we're trying to see, what are the bounds of acceptability in the language today.
Okay. And how are you going about that? How are you finding out this information? Who are you talking to?
We're speaking to, in the first instance, we've sent a questionnaire out to about 100 different people who are all fluent, competent speakers of Gaelic, use it professionally, whatnot. Broadcasters, educators, people who have left our programs in Glasgow, Edinburgh, Aberdeen, Salmore, etc. are now working in Gaelic. Some of them will be learners, some of them will have had Gaelic from the very beginning. So we've sent out this questionnaire, and we're waiting for the results to come back. Should start coming back very soon. Once we have the results, we'll be discussing them amongst ourselves, and then we'll be speaking to 5 or 6 experts, if you like, people who are native Gaelic speakers from in most cases an older generation, people who grew up amongst very competent, language dominant Gaelic speakers, to see what their own thoughts are on where these different goalposts should be.
Okay. So you're working with people who are professionally involved in.
That's correct. Yeah, in both cases, certainly in both cases, really. Okay. Yeah.
And what's going to come out of this?
Well, we're expecting to have at the end of the day to identify about 10 or slightly more subjects of Gaelic grammar that trouble people in one way or the other, and to provide some assistance and advice on how to approach them and what are as I said, the bounds of acceptability in each case. And we can use that in the future for making recommendations, in teaching, in grammars, etc. So it's a very very useful bit of work. The first time that this has really been done to this extent, for sure, and with this amount of coverage. So I think it'll be very, very useful.
Cool, great, important work.
I certainly think so. So yeah, very excited to see what happens.
Good luck.
Thank you.